My name's Ian Scott and I'm curator here at the National Library of Scotland for newspapers, leisure and sports material. Today we've got out some original circus posters dating from the 1850s right up to the 1970s to illustrate how circus has been portrayed in posters and how circuses have changed from the 19th century right up to the 20th century. We've also got Jocko the monkey, who is not only a monkey, which is good enough, but he can tell the future, Jocko, apparently. Obviously, Jocko is very smart. And this is a classic circus scene. This actually happened. This is a poster for circus at Edinburgh around about 1955.
It looks brand new.
The colours are very vivid. They've not had circuses for a while because the rugby ground has expanded, but they used to have circuses every year at Murrayfield, right next to the ice rink.
We're looking at all the different posters and how different they all are and how they've evolved through the years.
I think they choose really good colour choices, like contrast, and they mostly use primary colours. It's really detailed.
Mm-hmm. Not really. I wasn't really interested in circuses before, but now I definitely am. I think they're really cool.
This is another popular circus act, the human cannonball. People find it a cannon, yeah?
We're coming to the most thrilling of the circus acts, and it's dangerous too. This girl and her brother are loaded just like human bullets into the barrel of the cannon. Watch for them. Look out! Here they come!
He's asking us to remember blooming 60 years ago.
More than that.
So that would be the 40s or the 40s. I would say the 40s. I'm Sandra Wright and I run the Loose Women Club on a Thursday at the Millennium Centre. And my recollections of going to the circus, I was about 10 I think, with my cousin. My granny and grandad took me. But at the time it was at the Waverley, which is known as the Waverley Mall now. But going back then, there used to be gardens on the top of the Waverley, where the shops and that is, and the animals were there, the lions and the tigers, and there was elephants, and chimpanzees as well.
Yeah, Mima Harris, and my only recollection was when I was about 9 or 10, going to Murrayfield to the circus and going the day before it started to see the animals. And what I didn't realise was the camels spit.
Piece by piece, the big tent is put together. Up goes the tent roof to the top, and here's where Blanche can really help. She saves us a lot of time each morning. We'll soon be going through it to the big show.
I mean, nowadays when you go to circus, there is kids there, but it's a lot of adults. But going back there, it was mostly kids. Mostly kids, you know, with their mums or dads or their grannies and granddads in my case, took you to circus. It was a brilliant treat. You looked forward to it, you know. I think I like the clowns. I'm a clown person. I collect clowns actually. And the clowns acting daft and costumes and everything. And you'd maybe see them in a wee funny car that they would toot their horn and the wheels would fall off and things like that. Even nowadays, you don't get the clowns doing things like that in the circus now.
Now, a circus clown likes to have a full half hour for putting on his face. It may include a big rubber nose, but he can do it all in 10 minutes if he's in a big hurry. And we are in a hurry, fellas, because the big top is filling up with people.
There's so many different options. They can smile, they can look sad, but every single clown's original.
It's like copywriting your face makeup, so if you put on an egg, then no one else can copy your egg. The idea of like your own makeup and no one else can copy it is really cool. So we did that first, and we were inspired by them.
I don't even know what was a clown till after like I joined the group MYDG with Ali. We went to a tour like clown books and I started reading the books. That is how I know. They are funny. It makes it more interesting. When you look at them, I don't know, you just get an emotion. It was very nice to be a clown. It would be awesome. Yeah, I would do it. Because it's fun and you will make other people laugh. Boys like this.
When you see the pie coming, just say that is a good idea.
It's a great freedom once you have your face painted or once you're wearing a mask, even if this mask is as small as just a little clown's nose. Because even though the audience can see straight through it, you do have the protection of that mask yourself. And so suddenly you have the freedom of one of the boys, for example, who is usually very tough and very strong, suddenly got to be a bit more quiet. Why? Because it's not him. He had Grimaldi's face on, and that's what he was hiding behind. And that's where he found a lot of freedom in. Especially with the Grimaldi's face, since it can be happy as well as sad.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
I am Pimple.
We are the tattoo twins. I am the bearded lady.
Welcome to our circus.
My favourite was when we were learning about all the animals and how people have to hurt them to get them to do what we want.
Come on, Jumbo. Come on. Hey, hey!
Traveling circuses became extremely popular in an era when an escape from the drudgery of farm and factory work was welcomed by the masses. Masses who did not have the distractions of radio, television, and the internet. But just like the public of today, the attendees were always hungry for something new. Once an act had made the same circuit a couple of times, the audiences got bored. The onus was on the ringmaster to come up with bigger chills and greater thrills. Their answer was wild animals. At first, they were simply part of privately owned menageries that were brought along for display only and were not really part of the circus acts at all. How many of us really take the time to consider what training a wild animal really means? What does it take to make a 12,000-pound elephant agree to balance on one leg atop a pedestal? What does it take to make a 500-pound tiger sit on its hind legs on a platform on top of a horse?
Always ready to play dead and then come up again for a bout.
When we're training them, we have to use force. Animals are made to do things that they don't want to do.
Because I think they more have freedom in the jungle.
The Austin brothers come of 4 generations of clowns.
And now Clyde Beatty, the most fearless man in all the world, alone in a cage with a herd of man-eating African lions, the greatest wild animal trainer of all time, face to face with the most ferocious of all jungle-bred animals.
love to educate people who come to the zoo, none more so than with our ex-circus lions and bears, because I think it's important to say how we feel about it nowadays, that basically it's not acceptable to have animals in the circus. And I could only look at my own history, and that when I was a child, and I think like most people will remember, there was circuses that went round and that we would go along to them as a child and just face value enjoy the animal, because you didn't often get to see animals. You didn't sit and think, wow, this isn't really right. But I think as you get older, you suddenly realise that these animals shouldn't be in this environment. And I think it's all then about educating the people and generations, and it will take a while to really make people aware that it's not right that they're performing under such horrible conditions.
Today we've been around the zoo and we just look at the animals, and especially the ones that have been rescued, and learn about their background stories about being in a circus, and it sounds really horrible to them.
Or like something that they don't like to do. Some animals, they don't even get to spend time with their parents or like even see them. Like they're separating the animal with their families too, and that's not right. Imagine if I thought it was them, someone do that to their child or theirs, like themselves. It wouldn't be nice for people to do that to them. And I don't agree with them being in the circus or like to do anything that they don't like to do.
It's not natural for them, and they're forcing them to do something that's not meant to do. But I'm really happy to know they're happy and safe in the zoo.
You get circus families where the whole family would be in a circus, and it can go on for generations and generations. Like there's this person whose family's been in it for over 13 generations.
I joined Pilton Children's Circus when I was about 7, 8 years old. And then I took over and I run the Pilton Children's Circus for about 20 years. I started off just being a clown. We were just like slapstick guys falling over each other, the bucket of water, the bucket of paper, stuff and that, but it was just great like. And gradually worked up, got to learn to do unicycle, and once I learned unicycle, that was mostly what I was doing, unicycling. It's given me moments, it gave me like loads of confidence and stuff like, and I've been a youth worker now for like 20 years, you know what I mean, and that was partly just being growing up around people in the community, being in the circus. Like, I'm no shy, I'll put my hand to anything, and I put that down to like being brought up in Pilton with the guys in the circus and that, because you got nowhere being shy.
Nothing for the kids in the summer holidays. Reg Bolton's idea of a suitcase circus is just that. You find a field, which we had, that's where we worked, and we put up a pole, and like a maypole with streamers coming off it, and that was the tent, the big tent, and a literal suitcase, and out of the suitcase you got your props. Local people, we all knew each other, we all knew each other's families. So there was huge community spirit. So when we actually set up the suitcase circus, we chose a day, didn't tell anybody really, just put up this suitcase circus and people came out and watched. There were about 4 deep, the people around the area watching this astounding performance by the kids. Amazingly adventurous.
That's my story, boys.
Well, the circus, as I know it, which is just the handmade circus, is such a mixture of skill that you have to learn, camaraderie, if you like, that holds people together. It's creative. The arts are, just there. You have to actually make your props and make it as pretty or as garish as you like, and as funny as you like. There's humour there, definitely humour in a circus. You're entertaining people, show-offs love it. So, and there's some brilliant talent, latent talent that people don't even know they've got.
I think it's important for them to see that there are things that exist outside their regular worldview that have a rich and deep history and are culturally relevant within the world. It exposes to them a depth of knowledge that they might not have known, and you know, I myself have, for a lot of the preparations for this, have found out things that I didn't know, and I've been doing this for nearly 6 years now, so it's been a learning experience for everyone, and I think that's really wonderful. That's something that I can take home as well.
Yeah, everything's been good. Like, there's been loads of workshops and it's been really fun learning about the circus history.
Circadius is all about the circus, but not as we know the circus now. Instead, it's about how the circus used to be and how the circus has changed over time.
One of the boys, for example, who's usually very tough and very strong, suddenly got to be a bit more quiet. Why? Because it's not him. He had Grimaldi's face.